Hey everybody, welcome to the Wadcast podcast. I'm your host, Eddie Ift, and I'm sitting here in Sydney, Australia on the last leg of my tour here in Australia. It's been amazing. Went to a lot of different places, worked out a lot at some great gyms. I want to thank Mode that just changed its name to, well, we talk about it in the show, but James Newberry's gym in Adelaide, Australia. Thanks a lot for having me in. Sydney, I'm kind of working out on the beaches here. I like to do some outdoor workouts when I'm here. And I hope you guys are all enjoying these episodes. I want to say I'm very sorry if you listen to last week's episode with Tom Duday. Poor Tom. We used to talk about the Wadcast bump, where if you were on the Wadcast, it usually helped something good happen to you, where you would go out and win an event or score a sponsor, or something really good would happen. Poor Tom tore his ACL, so he's going to be out for a year. The Adelaide Crows player, footy player, and it was really sad to hear. He was a really, really nice guy. Still is. Hasn't changed him, now that he has a gimpy knee, but tough guy, and I'm sure he'll be back and stronger than ever, the way they deal with knee surgeries now. But shout out to Tom. Get better and get back as soon as possible and healthy. And I want to thank everybody who has been listening. Sorry, the shows have been a little erratic in the timing, and that's just because my tour schedule has been ridiculous over here with the amount of driving and travel and planes and lugging my pregnant wife and my child around with me. It has not been easy, but I've been trying to get these episodes up. We have a great episode today with Big Bad Bobby D. You guys know him from Raw. Great programmer, great coach, great athlete, huge, scary dude. And Jess Coughlin, who came along with them, who has already qualified for the games this year with a super team, and she's been in the games before, I think 2017. Great athlete. Incredible and very nice person. So I hope you'll enjoy this episode. I'll be back in the States. I'm coming back in on Monday, and I'm going to be right away. I'm flying out to Edmonton, Canada. So I'll be up there in Edmonton working out with those beasts up there. I'm doing shows at the Comic Strip Edmonton. That's Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's April 4th, 5th, and 6th. And then I'm in one show only in Bozeman, Montana, and I think a whole bunch of CrossFit gyms are coming out supporting this show. I think that's pretty much going to be the whole audience, is every CrossFitter in Bozeman. So that's April 12th. April 12th, I'll be there. And then April 21st through 28th. I'm sorry, 22nd through 28th, I'll be in Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand. That's the MGM Grand at Brad Garrett's Comedy Club. It's the nicest club in Las Vegas. Come out and see me. Get your tickets. They are expensive, so I'll see what I can do to hook you up. It's very difficult though to get comps, but if you I don't know, contact me. Who knows what I can do. Then May 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, I'll be at the Funny Bone St. Louis. That's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, Funny Bone St. Louis. Then I head off to Las Vegas again to the Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas, which is, if you know anything about the Comedy Cellar, it's like the best comedy club in the world. And they do a showcase show in Las Vegas. So it's a whole bunch of New York City comedians, which I used to be one of. And we do a show together. So it's really fun to come out. You see everybody does like 15, 20 minutes each. It's a good time. And then I'm taking some time off because I'm having a baby. Well, I'm not having a baby. My wife is. We're having a little boy. And so my wife's got a Wadcast bump in her stomach. So she said the grossest thing to me the other day. I'll talk about it on the show. You'll hear. Also, thank you guys for all the comments. Go to iTunes, rate, review, comment. That always helps out the show. I want to read one of my favorite comments. I just saw this one. This was pretty nice. This came from JF Sounds. And he said, I think he's talking about me. He said, has a Navy SEAL on an episode to interview. He capitalizes SEAL, which you're supposed to, but then he capitalizes interview, and constantly interrupts for personal comparisons of surfing and stand-up comedy to SEAL, CrossFit, CrossFit Games caliber training. How dare I do that? JF Sounds, I'm so sorry that I can only relate to someone with my own personal experiences. How dare I? Yeah, that's what I actually do. And I was saying I can't relate, or whatever I was saying. I don't give a fuck. You're a petty fucking douche. But there are some really nice comments. So write nice ones, not like, I can't believe people go on here and waste their time to write. Here's another, I got another one that's, let me scroll through. I got one that's, I don't have to scroll far. Here's one. Somebody's mad. Eddie became a bitter caricature of himself Eddie became a bitter caricature of himself, ran the other hosts away. Yeah, I ran them away. And now spends the majority of each podcast throwing off on CrossFit, telling the guest how he's always agreed with them, yet failing to actually interview the guest in a meaningful way. This is no longer worth the time investment. Well, thank you, Fuzzy B. I appreciate that. Got some good ones, though. I'll only do one good one. I'm a glutton. Here's one. Thank you, Chris. Says, I've been enjoying finding this podcast and catching up on previous episodes. The host, Eddie, is a heck of a host, asking the hard questions, yet keeps the episodes informative, yet funny. Keep up the excellent work. Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. And I want to thank everybody who helps out on the show. Myopox and Leopard Claw. If you have listened to the show, you know what they are. The Leopard Claw is a soft tissue tool device that you use to kind of scrape wherever you've got adhesions and junk that needs broken up inside when you've got an injury, soft tissue injury. And it's pretty cool. These ones are like very special, and they say Wadcast on them, and Leopard Claw has kind of helped us out with the show and sponsored the show. And after you use one of those, the best thing to do is hook yourself up with a Myopucks. I got to get one out to Tom Duday because I was surprised they're not using them in Australia. And what that does, that's like a TENS device and also a electronic muscle stimulator. And it flushes out all that waste. So it makes it you don't have to do the movement yourself. The movement happens by it stimulates your muscle, takes all that bad junk, and then it takes that bad junk and it flushes it out through your lymphatic system. So these are really good. It's like a $450 total. And if you donate at least $5 to our Patreon, you get yourself into the running for it. And you can get yourself one. And so you get one of those and it's pretty cool then. How about that? You know, we give to the guest, and we also give to one listener. So John Bender. How about that, John Bender? You just won. John Bender, you will be getting yourself a Leopard Claw and a Myopucks and a pat on the ass when I see you. Remember when that was okay? I wonder if that's like, remember how like athletes used to do that? I wonder if that's acceptable anymore, or if that's sexual harassment. If like a man pats another man on the ass. Because I'm going to do it to you, John Bender, when I see you. No, I'm not. Thrive Market, though. Go to Thrive Market and get yourself some groceries. How about that? Groceries. Any healthy thing that you can imagine is at Thrive Market. You sign up, it's $60 a year. And you have to click through on our site, Wadcast Podcast. And you're going to thank me because you're going to save yourself a shitload of money. And you're going to get the best. You know me. I'm a stickler for like really healthy stuff. And I like a lot of treats. So as my daughter calls them, treats, Dad, eat treats. So they've got a lot of healthy, good stuff, bars and anything you need to buy, your healthy oils, anything you cook with. They've got meats now and everything, but I don't do my meats at Thrive. But anyway, you can do anything you want there. Anything you need. It's like a healthy Costco. You're going to save yourself some money. You're going to help out the show. Go to Thrive Market, do the click through. Just check it out. Try it out. I think it's they give you a deal. You'll see. Go click through on our site. And also you can click through to US Wellness Meats that I contend has the best, healthiest meat in America. They pride themselves on that. And if you click through on our site, they help us out. They give us a little advertising fee. And that's what keeps the show rolling. The Patreon those things, and our sponsors. So I want to thank all of them today and bring you this this awesome episode. We recorded at the Comedy Store in Sydney when I was doing shows. It was so hard. Big Bad Bobby D is training one of the footy teams in Sydney, and he had to come in to town, and then we didn't get together. Then he came in again and came to my show, and we hung out, and I wish I could have had longer with him, but it was we were like running into showtime when I had to go on stage. So it's not the longest episode. It's over an hour, but I could talk to this guy for hours. We talked afterwards about a few things about his programming, how he comes up with it, and a little bit more about the games and stuff. But you'll get the gist of it in the show, and I hope you enjoy it. And please keep listening, and thank you guys for all the support. I'm sure there are the haters out there that I have seen, but for the most part, everybody's been super nice, and I really, really appreciate it. The people that have gotten in contact with me about being a social media manager, I will get a hold of you when I get back to the States. I kind of got to get my feet in the sand again and figure out what I'm doing, because as you've noticed, I have not been good at keeping up on the Facebook and Instagram page, so I need someone that can handle that, and I've talked to a few guys. I will contact you guys, and we'll get that moving, because it's just too much for one person. So thanks a lot, and enjoy this episode. Welcome to the Wadcast Podcast. I am your sole host, Eddie Ift. No more Armin, no more Scott. They've left me. Last time you did the show, they were here. Or, well, you guys were in the hotel, I believe, at the CrossFit Games. I am here right now with, you've heard us talk about him many times on the show, Big Bad Bobby D. We are recording backstage at a comedy club, which is common for me. Probably the first time you've ever been backstage at a comedy club.
First time I've been backstage at a comedy club, but I have actually been here once before, but it was probably 15 years ago. Maybe.
Oh, really? Who'd you see?
Maybe 20. I could not tell you. But when I saw it, I was like, oh, yeah, I have actually been here.
So thank you for coming out here. I know this was a far away from your gym, is what, a couple hours away?
Well, normally it would take about 90 minutes, I guess. Tonight it took a little bit over 2 hours, a little bit of traffic. There's a football game on in town, and yeah. And
with you, you've got Jess Coughlin. Did I say it right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Jess is you're a competitor. You work out under Bobby's tutelage at Raw.
Yeah, I try.
I've seen you on the Instagram. I've followed you. I know what's going on there. You've got some freaks over there, Bobby. I mean, everyone that works out with you is there anyone there that like looks like me?
Yeah, you don't look too bad.
No, okay. No, but I mean, do you have any like normal people?
Yeah, no, we got lots. Like, I guess through the evolution of CrossFit, I guess like we do actually have quite a lot of people that just want to kind of step up their fitness to the next level, but their goal isn't to get to the CrossFit Games.
Because I just imagine that you have this like monsters only gym that everyone in there looks like you, and.
Yes, like, so I guess there's the ranch where we live, which is our gym, and that's where I guess the monsters might come out and play with some big boys' toys. But then our gyms, I think our local area, I think people think that we've only got beasts that work out there. Our affiliate has been to the old regionals every year since they've been running. And I think some of the local guys think that our gym is only for elite people, but I can assure you there's more normal people there than beasts.
So there's two separate places. There's the ranch, you're like where you live,
yep,
and the affiliate, which is a different place.
So there's two affiliates. So we own two affiliates. So they're about 15 minutes apart, and then the ranch on top of that. So yeah, three places to train.
Yeah, three
it's
places
pretty good.
to train.
That's why. Okay, so the two affiliates, are they far from each other?
Nah, they're like 15 minutes. 15
yeah,
minutes.
They're not far.
And that's with Sydney traffic, so.
Now, how did you guys get around the remember when it used to be, I don't know if it's still the same, where you could only have one affiliate, so you had to have someone else put their name on it?
Yep, that's exactly what we did.
Okay. Got it.
Yep. So he's still got the affiliate, I should say, in his name.
One of our trainers.
Just one of our trainers. He's a really good guy.
So what area of Sydney is it that you have your gyms? What's that called?
Let's call it northwestern Sydney. I guess.
Northwestern. Is
Northwestern
that up
Sydney.
near the mountains at all?
No, we kind of live at the foot of the mountains.
Okay.
It's kind of like, I would say, more of a developing area. It's kind of becoming an area in itself.
Okay.
Before it would have been classed as Western Sydney, but now Western Sydney is a little bit of that's probably a region itself, and we're kind of north of that. So
How'd you end up there? Were you did you grow up there?
Jess grew up there.
Okay.
Actually. Yeah.
I did, but Rob's been all over the place because he's can't stay in one place for too long.
Yeah,
he
been
just
everywhere.
constantly needs change. And
What was your sports background?
I've played pretty much every kind of team ball sport there was: baseball, cricket, not ball sport, but athletics. Did swimming, rugby league, rugby union, triathlon. Did some bodybuilding, strongman.
No AFL?
No, not AFL competitively in a club. Just at school we did it. But
Last week I had Tom Dode. I said his name right. Who was in AFL, played for the Crows, and he was at my show, and I did a show for the Crows, and he was like, Rory Sloan, the captain of the team, was supposed to be on the show, and Rory kept like. Not flaking. Rory, you did flake.
he was blowing you off.
He was blowing me off. He was. He went surfing. We were supposed to go surfing. He blew me off for surfing. Then I didn't really want to surf, but he then blew me off for the show. So Tom's like, I'll do the show. So then he does it, and 2 days later, in a game, blows out his knee. Oh. And I'm like, I feel like we used to say the Wadcast bump. Like, usually people that came on this show would then go on to like win the games or win an event. Yeah, we used to say that all the time.
Yep.
And now I'm like, I think the tides have turned. So guys, be careful driving home.
Touch wood.
Anyway, I ran into them today. I was in the water with my daughter playing in the surf, and there's all these dudes and like budgie smugglers.
Oh, yep.
And I see them. For those of you that aren't Australian, that's a banana hammock. They're wearing Speedos. I see these dudes in Speedos, and I'm like, oh, look at these fucking guys. And I'm like, what are these Europeans? Like, who are these guys? And they're all like waxed chest, like really good looking dudes.
Really
and all
buff.
of a sudden they walk up to me and they're like, Eddie? And I'm like, did I meet these guys in a gay bar or something? That's what it looked
There's
like.
plenty of them around here.
They look like this, like, yeah. And I go, what? And they're like, we're the Crows. And I was like, and I go, and you're wearing those things? Like, put some pants on, guys. So, it's a little bit of a weird place, but I guess AFL is more of that. That's the
Well, AFL is probably, along with soccer, I guess, probably now one of the most popular sports in Australia. It's definitely growing.
more popular than NRL.
Yeah. Well, NRL is very, although they play it in Queensland and New Zealand, and they're part of our competition here in New South Wales. Probably AFL is probably more of a national sport. They play it, in a lot more states, and just their. I don't know what you call it, administration, I guess, just bringing the kids through the ground routes. They put a lot of money into that, whereas I guess it seems that the NRL spends a lot of money at the top end, whereas the other sports kind of bring.
So you're working though in the NRL. You're helping train the.
So just below the NRL, I guess. So I work with the Bears, which is in it's called Canterbury Cup now. They just changed the name, but that's reserve grade. And they're associated, or they're a feeder club for the Roosters, which is the NRL. So that's
the Roosters. Is that what's his name's team?
Which one?
The celebrity guy, the actor.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah,
he
Russell.
has the South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Oh, South Sydney Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, but they're located right here.
Yeah, right next door.
So I walked over last night because I thought I was on earlier, and when you were texting me, I'm like, I think they're. So I walk over and I just hear all this gangster rap going on, and I was like, I wonder what workout he's putting them through right now.
Last night they did, just some power plyometrics type stuff. They got to play on Sunday, but the loud music was to drown out, I think, the tears. They actually did some Airdyne sprints. It was they've only recently been introduced to the Airdyne, so trying to get some, I guess, more CrossFit type training into their training. So we do a fair bit of conditioning now in the gym and not rely on running so much. And there was I don't know if there were tears of.
Isn't it funny that the Airdyne's been around for so long,
long,
but yet now it's used as this brutal like torture device.
Yeah. Like I see when I lived in Queensland, like I remember driving past this house and I'd see this old Airdyne on their balcony. I bet it hadn't been used in 10 years back then. But yeah, and
our first Airdyne at Norwest was like a really old school Schwinn one that we picked up secondhand. It was when Airdynes were starting to become popular again.
Yep.
Yeah. How old was that?
It was 14 years old, that bike, and we got it in 2011.
Yeah.
My dad had one.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Way long ago. He kept it in his bedroom.
Yeah.
And he would ride it. And I remember it was like fun to play on as a kid. It wasn't, I never thought of it as and when it started coming into CrossFit, I'm like,
that's not so bad.
What the fuck are they doing with this thing? Like, I remember this thing. It was like, it was a scam. It was one of those things you bought off a TV commercial, and it didn't do anything. And then I was like,
paid off in installments.
And I remember saying to myself, because I have a home gym, I was like, all right, I have one now. And I was like, I'm going to do a Tabata on it. I'm going to see how many calories I can get in a Tabata. And then I'm going to constantly try to bring that number down.
Yep.
Yeah, I only did it once.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, I think the first time I used the bike and did like a massive sprint, like I think that was probably the hardest I've ever gone on it because it's so intimidating to try and go that hard again. Yeah. I think, you've only got one shot at giving it a crack because after that, you know what it feels like and you don't want to go there again.
It's like running a 400-meter dash.
Yeah, exactly.
You reach that 300 mark and you have to sprint that last 100 and you're like, this is the worst thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I wish they would put that in the games. I would love to see the 400 and watch all the athletes sprint.
We ran a competition last year. It was like our national final for Masters, and we ran a 400-meter sprint for all the age groups. So just because it was hard.
That face that people make when they hit the wall is hilarious when their head falls back.
Yeah.
It's like their body's still going, but their head can't catch up with their body. Yeah. And it's funny. When I was younger, they told me that's strength, that you're not strong enough. Mm-hmm. It's not strength. You're not strong enough at sprinting, but it has nothing to do with your muscular strength.
No.
And I've watched videos of people when they do it, and their head just goes. It's like whiplash, and all of a sudden they're like, "I can't get my head forward."
Taser from behind.
So, Jess, you've competed in regionals?
I have. I went
to the games.
Yeah, I've been
How many
to
games?
Only one games in
Which year?
2017.
2017. Oh, that's not long ago.
It's not long ago. I'm not too much of a has-been yet.
Are you making a run for it this year?
Oh, well, it's a little bit different. So last year, I thought for sure I would make it. I was probably in better shape than I was in 2017, but I didn't make it, and I went on the demo team last year. So I was one of Dave Castro's minions. And from doing that, we tested all the workouts, team and individual, like multiple times.
Multiple times.
Oh, it's crazy. It's so crazy, the schedule. But, I really enjoyed the team aspect of that and testing workouts with great athletes, I guess.
Right.
So there was Travis Mayer and Paul Tremblay and Cody Mooney, Jess Griffith, and Colleen Matthews were with me. And doing team workouts with good athletes made me think, I wouldn't mind forming a super team.
Yep.
Pre that, I'd always been like anti-team, never go on teams. But that really changed my mind. And then when they, I guess, changed the structure of this season and this year, we got together and we formed a team, and we've actually already qualified.
So you got your super team and your going team.
Yeah.
I've heard it's so much more fun to be on a team.
It is so much fun. And for me, it was just the change I'd needed. I've done individual since 2012. Had some success, but also a lot of failure. I definitely needed that change. And there was the Australian CrossFit Championships in January, and we won that. Project X is our team.
So Project X is the name of the super team?
We're on the way to the games.
Are they all trained by you?
No, they're not all trained by me.
Okay.
I have trained them in the past, except for Harriet, one of the girls, but I'm helping her out with a few things now. So, but I don't coach them at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, so it's Khan Porter. He's obviously been to the games 4 times. Brandon Swan, he's been 3 times. And Harriet Roberts, she's been twice on a team, and she's come pretty close individually at regionals as well. So it's a pretty pretty solid little
Well,
team
congratulations on that. That is amazing
Thank
and
you.
should be really fun. And I think it's going to be
so
fun this year. I like the way, that it's not when it was going the WWE route, when they were doing the event announcements and pyrotechnics and everybody was coming out to their different side. I was like, all right, you're about to lose me, guys. I just want to see people come in and work out and do it like no fluff. So I'm hoping it goes back more that way overall. How many guys do you have qualifying this year? Anyone yet?
So one female. She's from Indonesia, so she finished the Open fittest female in Indonesia.
Let me guess. She works out in Bali.
No.
Where does she work out?
She doesn't. She lives in Canada, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, but she's
Canada
Indonesian.
Or the US, but she's Indonesian.
Oh, that's pretty. That's going to be like the Olympics. You know how you'll find like.
One of my guys that I coach, he was really kind of disappointed that he didn't go as well as he thought in the Open. He was never going to qualify, but he sent me a screenshot after the Open had finished, and there was one guy, I don't know what country it was from, but he won every single workout in the Open, and he was the only one that competed for his country.
Damn it, what country is this?
So that's what he said. He said, he goes, I should have changed my passport.
Well, I worked out in the 60-plus women's division. And,
they're beasts. They're beasts. They're very
They're pretty good.
They crushed me.
they're very scary.
I was doing their weights. And there was the one where you do 8 minutes or whatever, and then you add 4 and you add 4. And that one I would have come in, I easily would have won. But they set the timer. I'm not making excuses. They go, hey, go on like the 6-minute mark. Whatever. So I was doing the math, trying to pace myself so that I would just finish just in time to start my 4 minutes over again, because nothing was hard about it. And my finishing weight was like 60 kilos to clean, I think, or whatever. And I was like, okay, this is, I've got it. Like, this is the one where I'm going to be able to be like, I beat you.
I've got that, Grandma.
I beat all you women, like I got you. And, all of a sudden they go, time. And I was like, I had 2 more reps. And I was like, I'm not doing this again. I was going to do it again. I was like, I should at least prove myself. But they crushed me in the first one.
They're very, very impressive.
There were so many of them. I think I only did 4 of them. I didn't do the last one. But they crushed me. Me. And the way I looked at it, I'm like, these women, if I went out and ran them in a 10K, they're all going to beat me, like, so it's the
There's
same
no
kind
shame
of,
in that.
It's
There's
the
no
same,
shame in
it's
that.
the same kind of thing. It's like they're conditioned to do that where I'm not. Like, so
100%.
No more James Newberry, huh?
No more. We're still really good friends.
Yeah.
But
and you still program his gym, right?
Yeah. He's just changed the name to Soul 365, so it's no CrossFit.
He's always doing something.
He is always doing something.
James is
an ideas man.
Yeah.
I got a text message in the other day saying, can I bet on, not bet, but bid on eBay, because he's trying to sell a car and he needed the bids get pushed up. So
Don't admit that.
Everyone does that. How do you think you do that? Yeah.
And then I felt uncomfortable keeping going, because I'm like, he's going to make me pay for this thing in the end. But he was telling me, oh no, the reserves on it's 40,000 or something. I got it up to like 35. So
what car was it?
He's got a car fetish, so he's got lots of
There's a
old
guy,
cars, and he does them up. I think this is probably the first one that he's actually done up, because all the others are in a shed. He's got a really kind of relaxed renovator guy, spray painter, bodywork guy that doesn't. James pays up front, but doesn't do any of the work for James. So this is the actual first one that he's got off the production line.
He has one of those Crux that you guys have here, like a Ute that's it's like a car truck.
Yeah, I don't know,
like a Ranchero. We call him.
We went and saw. Yeah, you were there. We went and saw some of these cars, but they were all under rags. Like, because they spray painted one of them, so they had to cover up all the other cars.
He's got a car guy there. There's a guy that works out at his gym that's all he does.
Yeah,
and
is that Duncan?
Yeah. Because I'm trying to buy over here. I'm trying to buy a Defender.
Oh yeah,
and ship it over to America, but it's got to be 25 years old because we have them in America. They stopped making them in '97, the Land Rover Defenders. And if you want like a 97 or 96, whatever, they're $150,000, $200,000.
Yeah,
because they've refurbed them. Well, here you can buy one for like 10, 15 grand.
Yeah.
And then it's got to be at least 25 years old for me to take it over, or they'll crush it.
Yeah.
They
How
crush
much does it cost to
customs.
get it back?
It's like $3,000.
Oh, is that all?
That's
Yeah,
it.
right.
Yeah,
To ship it
pretty
over,
good.
and then I can have it redone there. So that's what I've been searching around to find it. I haven't found one, so I'm just I talked to some guys, and maybe someone's gonna help me and buy it for me, send it over to me.
Speak to James, he'll do that. He comes and trains at our house. He still came up and trained at our house the other week and spent most of the time on Gumtree looking for car bargains.
Well, every time I'm in his gym, he's building shit.
Oh,
he's redesigning the
Yeah.
whole gym.
Don't worry, we just got a message from his dad the other day that manages at the gym, and he said James is out renovating the whole gym again.
Yep,
I think
the whole gym.
It pretty much does it every year.
He loves it, but his gym's great, and that's where I learned about your training, because I was working out there, and I came in thinking I was in good shape, and then I looked at the programming and I went, why are we doing 3 workouts today?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I didn't realize that we've been watching a few YouTube videos and things lately of how other athletes train, I guess, like some people that Jess likes. And but what we notice is each part of their training session they call a workout.
Right.
But for me, like, a workout is just like, I don't know, 60 or 90 minutes of stuff, not like each piece broken down into...
It's quite interesting, because I know a lot of our average Joe affiliate members, they'll go and visit other gyms on holidays and stuff like that, and they always come back to us and they're like, oh, we did hardly anything. We did a warm-up and we did a workout, and then 3x5 back squat and we were done. But to us, I don't know, for us it's still about quality training, but it's about giving them an hour that they won't forget. They're going to get their skill, strength and conditioning in, and it wasn't unusual to us until we started getting all these reports back from our members about I guess how their other gyms were
Pussies.
I guess so.
Well, when I started into CrossFit, it was a cousin of mine led me into it, who was in the military, and he said, do this workout. It'll, if you want to get in shape like us, this is what you do. So I started doing it, and I liked that every day. I was kind of brainwashed by the CrossFit mentality of, you only have to do this and you're going to be super fit.
Yes.
This methodology,
they do con you with
some days you're going to come in, you're going to run 3 800s and then you're done.
Yep.
And then the next day you're going to come in and you're going to do, your max effort then you're going to do this crazy workout the next. But so to me, I would walk out of the gym after like a 3-minute workout sometimes and be like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
And they're geniuses. I know. And then, after a while you start going, wait a minute, I'm neglecting this and this and this and this, and I have to do this. So there was more to it. So when I went to CrossFit Mode, which was James's old name of his gym, I saw your programming and I went, what the fuck? And I was so scared by looking at it that I was like, I could do any of these workouts, but just one of them.
Yeah, not all back to back.
And then I went back to back, but I found that they didn't crush you, that they were like, you had enough in the tank to go on to the next one, and then you were using separate body parts to do the next one. And so after it was all done, I went, wow, this feels great. Like, I really, within that hour, I packed in an incredible workout. So then, if you're hearing loud ambient noise, it's because the audience is starting to fill in our show, but it's no big deal. So then we would do these workouts, and after a month of it, I was like, this is the best I've ever felt. I feel like I'm in really good shape. So that's when I started talking to you and said, this is what I need. This is the kind of workout I need, because I couldn't find it anywhere. Anybody with that kind of programming. I tried Outlaw. I hurt every single part of my body. I literally thought my hips were dislocated. Like, I was like, I'm going to need hip surgery now.
I think with Rob, or Big Bad Bobby D, looks are quite deceiving. I think people just see him as
a giant meathead.
Yeah, like a big scary guy. But he's really smart. He has a chiropractic background, and he knows the science behind it, which I think makes a difference in the programming.
I think the science is very.
And then he's a little bit crazy, so put that together and
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody in this business, if you're,
I think so.
I think so.
Crazy. Or what crazy?
Yeah.
What's your chiropractic background? I mean, are you?
Yeah, still like registered. Everything
really?
like that. Yeah, I don't practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was a chiropractor. didn't like working in an office, I guess. And I thought, like, as soon as you graduate, you're just going to train treat elite athletes every day. That didn't happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, we looked for something different to do.
Then what happened to your elbow recently?
Well,
It's not a. It's a.
we were doing it. It's a touchy subject.
It's a very
We're
touchy
doing
subject.
a training triathlon. Jess, myself, and another girl, Courtney.
Crusher.
And Jess is actually not very confident on the bike, but she was actually crushing the bike. She overtook me on the push bike, and I thought I was like some elite cyclist. So I just hovered in behind her on her draft and sat on her wheel, and she just thought it was a good idea to slam on the brakes. So
maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. Did you do that on purpose? Was that one of those like you're tailgating
it was a very touchy subject. We didn't talk for a few days.
Wow.
Which is weird for him because usually he
in a week.
gets explosively angry and then he's over it very, very quickly. So he never holds on to anything. This is the first time he'd held on to something. But from my perspective, we were cycling around. He's correct. I'm not a skillful cyclist, but I've got big legs and I just probably pedaled on a super inefficient gear, but I just made it work. And I overtook him, and then he started trying to, I didn't really know it was drafting, but he tried to come on the back of me, and I told him to F off quite a few times, and I was swerving all over the bike lane. But then I settled down, and I just started riding, and then I saw a lawnmower man riding his ride-on lawnmower out the...
About 3 kilometres away.
out the right-hand side of my eye, and I touched the brakes. I didn't completely stop, and I didn't understand the concept of drafting, how close Bobby would be to me. And yeah.
Did you both go down?
I didn't at all, which is amazing because I always go down.
She was prepared to stop. She just put her feet out like the Flintstones and put them on the road.
You went down, but your bike was stuck in the back of my bike.
I was clipped in.
I wasn't. I'm not advanced enough for that.
Yeah. So
your bike was stuck in the back of my bike. It was very bizarre.
Yeah. So my front wheel kind of pretty much stopped immediately.
Did you go over the handlebars?
Yeah, I went over the handlebars, and my handlebars got caught in her spokes.
But how did you go over the handlebars when your bike was caught in my bike, or you went? That happened after.
Anyway, you come to us.
At the end of the flip over the handlebars, I ruptured my tricep. So
we haven't been able to discuss it properly because it's been a touchy subject.
I'm
so
glad
now that the time has passed, I'm curious about the physics.
We won't be discussing it properly.
Incident.
I'm glad that this is the premiere. So let me see. Yeah, if anybody knows Big Bad Bobby D, your guns are gigantic. He's got the biggest arms in the world, and I see some atrophy there.
Yeah. It's skinny.
Wow. It's still twice the size of mine.
It's still large-ish. Yeah. It's like, especially, you haven't done anything on it for so long.
So, is there some swelling there in the elbow? Wow, you really fucked him up.
Yeah.
Did you have, and you had surgery? Holy shit. So they had to attach the tricep back to the olecranon?
Yeah, it rolled up my arm.
Whenever I hear that, whenever I hear a muscle rolls, I'm like, can you imagine that coil?
But do you know what? He still finished the triathlon.
I still finished the triathlon.
So that's why I didn't think it was so serious, because we were doing, we did a 500 swim. It was all at this regatta center. And then we did a 20K bike, and that was 4 laps, so 5K laps. And then 1 5K lap on the run. And the incident happened at the end of the 3rd lap on the bike. And after a bit of yelling and screaming, he then got back on the bike, did the last 5Ks.
Screaming in anger, not like a bitch.
Huh? Yeah, he was angry. Thanks. And then he ran the 5Ks as well, so I didn't think it was that bad.
I love that this is what you guys do for fun out there. You know, like I go for a surf, or I can't get my wife to do any, especially now my wife's pregnant.
Yeah.
And she's one of these people, like when she gets pregnant, she shuts down. She's like, that's it. She'll go for walks every day, but she's like, I'm not exercise. Don't even.
She's growing something.
Yeah.
She's got to hibernate.
Oh, she said to me the grossest thing the other day. She looks at me and she goes, because we're having a boy.
Yeah.
And she goes, wow. She goes, you have a penis and I have a penis now. And I was like, that was the weirdest thing you've ever said to me. I hate to break away from the episode, but I have to talk to you about something that is near and dear to me, because I just love this company. Hylete is sent me a bunch of stuff, and I'm very particular about my clothing that I wear to work out. I'm just such an anal douche, and I like my shorts have to be perfect, my socks have to be perfect. I should worry more about my workouts, but I feel like everything has to fit perfectly. And High Elite sent me a whole bunch of stuff, and I couldn't be happier with their shorts. I have a top that I wear when it gets cold out to the gym that's got the thumb holes in the sleeves, and my favorite thing in the world is this shirt. The long sleeve shirts that they make are the best cut, best fitting, dry wicking. I can work out in a long sleeve shirt. It's great, and it doesn't feel like it gets in the way. And High Elite is a company that builds premium athletic apparel, backpacks, shoes, and they emphasize innovative designs at reasonable prices. So you're not going to find High Elite in retail stores. That's not where they are. You got to go online. And they focus on selling direct to their community. And they promise premium product at unique High Elite pricing. So they got a full line of men's lifestyle and performance products, including 7 styles of men's shorts. So that's the one thing about a lot of shorts company. They give you one short and they're like, here, try this. You'll like it. Well, maybe you won't, because some people like them long, some people like them short, some people like a liner, some people like cut in the side. They've got everything. Check out their 7 styles and their women's products. They've got a quickly expanding line of women's products, including the insanely popular Nimbus Tight collection. I'm walking around Australia and I've just noticed that women only wear tights now. And I don't have a complaint. I love it. I think it's great. And it's all they're wearing. I feel like it's moving into the future. That's it. Women will wear tights to work. So check out theirs. Get yourself the Nimbus tights and check out their website. And because they sponsor the show, they're giving Wadcast listeners an additional 20% off High Elite pricing on your first purchase. That's your first purchase. Go to High Elite, HYLETE.com, HighElite.com. But you have to go to HighElite.com/WAD, HighElite.com/WAD, and capitalize the WAD. I don't know why, but do it. You don't have to, I don't think, but HighElite.com/WAD. They're going to give you 20% off. How about that? So check them out and then thank me, because you're going to love them. Hey, stop the show, because I know you're asking, what are perfect keto bars? Everybody, you know that's right on your mind right now. You're going, what are perfect keto bars? Perfect keto bars are a great tasting, keto-friendly bar with ingredients you can actually trust. Sometimes less is more. If you want to lose fat, have more energy, get rid of brain fog, boost your mental performance, and increase your physical performance through a low-carb, ketogenic lifestyle, well, keto bars are here to help you. All of their bars on the market either have high sugar content, high net carbs, they use pro-inflammatory fillers and stabilizers, and do not support a ketogenic diet. Perfect keto bars were tested on their blood glucose levels extensively to ensure a minimal glycemic effect after consumption. Perfect Keto spent over a year on R&D and went through 14 different iterations, finding the right balance of ingredients that would make a great tasting bar without spiking blood sugar. Keto bars are portable, convenient, fast, mess-free, and great for travel, work, before the gym, or a study session. Keto bars are for people who eat a ketogenic diet, like to avoid unnecessary blood sugar spikes, want a clean snack option, and look to eat a low-carb, guilt-free diet. So these are great. I recommend them highly. They've got all natural ingredients, which is so important to me. They've got balanced keto macros. If you're into it and you're checking out and you're trying to count your carbs and keeping your carbs low enough that you're still remaining in a ketogenic diet, these only have 3 grams of net carbs. They've got great flavors, almond butter, brownie. They've got a new salted caramel, and they've got a lemon poppy seed flavor that just launched. So that one's my favorite. And it's just, these are delicious. They're going to keep your energy up, and I can't recommend them more to you. So, I'm traveling with them. It's keeping me going, keeping me from. I just try to stay away from sugar so much now, and so these keto bars are exactly what I need. And if you want 20% off, site wide, that's right. So if you're going to you want everything on their site, you want 20% off, go to perfectketo.com/wadcast. That's perfectketo.com/wadcast. Perfectketo.com/wadcast. keto.com/wadcast and do that at checkout. So, yeah. And then again, like I said, when you try all these products, thank us afterwards. Say, hey, I was introduced to this. I'm so happy about it. And I might mention you on the show. Oh, that reminds me. I want to talk to you about Tiger Balm Active. Tiger Balm Active. I've been on the go and I've been working out. I've been surfing. I've been running a lot, trying to get ready for that 68-mile run. Yes, I'm going to do an ultra. And I'm doing shows. I'm working too. And I don't have time to be sore. So thank God I traveled here and brought my Tiger Balm Active. It's designed for physical athletic people like you, like me. We push ourselves hard and guess what? Pain happens, but we don't need to suffer. So I'm going to recommend to you 3 different pain relief products from Tiger Balm Active. There's the muscle rub, which gets sore muscles ready to go for peak performance. It's not like other rubs. It's not greasy. And it's this great pre-workout warming cream. So you're going to warm up, use it to warm up. Your muscles are ready to go. Get out there. They've got a muscle gel that's perfect for post-workout cool down. So this one you're going to do when you're cooling down. And it's not sticky. That's the best part. And it goes cool to warm sensation. And it helps your muscle fatigue and recovery. So you got a lot of DOMs. You're feeling sore. You don't feel like you want to work out again. Check this out. Put this on. It's going to cool you down. And then here's this amazing one. They've got this thing called Tiger Balm Active Muscle Spray. And what it does is it's like putting on sunscreen. You can't cover yourself because you can't get to yourself unless you have somebody to rub it on. Well, you don't always have somebody to rub it on. So Tiger Balm Active Muscle Spray, you're going to be able to spray it in those hard to reach areas. You know, those hard to reach areas, you know what I'm talking about. Oh, no, I'm not talking about those areas. But like you get some, your back. How are you going to get to your back with rubbing on stuff? Well, you can spray it on. There's a lot of places. So get yourself some of the muscle spray. And it's really, really making a difference, making me happier because I'm not sore all the time. So check this out and go. If you want to get some Tiger Balm Active, you got to go to CVS. How about that? And get yourself some Tiger Balm Active just like I do because we all know that pain happens, but suffering is optional. Okay? So pick up your Tiger Balm Active at your local CVS or Rite Aid store. I'm that kind of person, and my buddy Hunter that's on the show all the time, Hunter McIntyre, yep. I'm surprised he's never contacted you because he contacts everyone in the CrossFit world
really?
For some type of programming help.
So do you think, that CrossFit said that they will reserve the right to invite anybody to the CrossFit Games that they feel they might want to invite? Do you think he might get an invite?
He's begging for it.
Oh, really?
Right.
But he didn't do well in the Open. He didn't do as well as we thought he'd do. There were a couple workouts that were right in his wheelhouse too, but he's just not strong enough.
Yeah.
He just doesn't have the strength because he hasn't put in the years for it.
Yeah.
And he claims that he would have done really well in the games because there were like 4 or 5 events that were, like the obstacle course and the run, swim, run and the cyclocross and all those are right up his alley. So this year he put on the pounds. He's up to like 200 and some pounds, and his lifts are heavier, but still, it's all about.
It takes a long time.
It's all about strength too.
Yeah.
We've talked about it a million times on the show. If you took someone who's a great Olympic weightlifter, you take someone who's a great gymnast, you take someone who's a great runner, sprinter, whatever it is, swim. It's going to be the Olympic weightlifter that's going to, and it just shows with like Matt Fraser winning.
Yeah.
Consistently.
Yeah, everything.
So,
and Tia, she's a weightlifter.
Yeah, Tia too. Yeah. So the sport is built with it's weird. It's built with that component in mind. It's built for it because they end up winning.
Yeah.
But the Open. It used to be the Open was slightly easier and less weight oriented, and then regionals just kills everybody.
Yeah.
And then the games is a little bit more for entertainment purposes.
Yeah.
And I think more and more they're making it more entertaining and not so heavy lifting. But now God only knows what's going to happen this year.
I'm so curious to see what happens this year. Like they haven't made it really clear. And
the Open seemed to be pretty basic.
Yeah, like I don't really know if that's a good test for the games. Obviously, you know, the cream still rose to the top. You know, there's, you know, the amazing athletes are still there, but yeah, just I know Josh Bridges said on a rival podcast he was on, we won't name it, I don't even know what it's called, but he said that he was glad that he was getting his knees done this year and having surgery because he wants to sit back and watch it all unfold, which I think a lot of people do. I'm really curious.
And that was part of the reason that these guys went team as well, it was because of the uncertainty of what the individual competition would look like, and with so many athletes and their, you know, rumours that they're going to cut
after the first day, cut
100
to
and something
10
athletes,
or something?
down to 10 or 15.
What are they going to do to cut them?
Yeah. But also, like, there's no point going, for us at least, spending all that money to travel internationally to be cut on the first day.
100%.
When all the teams, I think there's 15 or 16 teams.
They do all 4 days,
and
apparently.
They compete the entire competition.
But I talked to a couple guys who were very upset about the way it was going because they felt like without a regional, they were going to be eliminated because they weren't going to be top in the Open. They weren't going to be. It was going to be very difficult for them to win an event.
Yeah.
But if someone like Sean Sweeney, and then he went and won an event.
Yeah.
So it's like, what are you bitching about?
I actually think with the new format, there's way more opportunity, especially this year where they've had the top 20 worldwide as well. They're not going to have that next year, but there's way more opportunities to qualify this year.
I think.
You know, like in Dubai, the DCC, the girl who came, Bethany Shadburn, I think she came 7th. She's got her ticket to the games purely through backfilling from the Open. So, I think it's easier to get there. It's just what it's going to look like will be really interesting.
I follow surfing a lot. And I don't follow golf, but I know how golf works when you do all these tournaments and then it leads up to the end of the year. Or surfing, they do 11 comps during the year, and then Pipeline's the final event, and you want to win Pipeline, but it's not. Doesn't determine who wins it.
Yeah.
It's over the entire year, and I would like to see it more like that and give the athletes more of a chance to make a living going to all the events. Like the athletes getting to go to Dubai and to Cape Town and to all these places, and they get to perform, and you're going to see the top athletes there, and it's like golf. You know, you're watching Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson and all these guys consistently throughout the year, and that's how it is surfing. There's 45 guys, 45 women, or 32. With some wild cards, and
they're on tour.
They're on tour, and you get to see them, and they get to
have like a competition circuit.
Yeah, and then they get to train for that, and it's not one of these. Well, I'm gonna cherry pick this one time. I'm gonna work up to that. Yeah. Then I'm gonna, wait for the games. Yeah. And it's more of a consistent. Who's the fittest all year round? Not who peaked at this time, because peaking's a big deal, I think.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Like how it panned out this year, like with Matt Fraser getting his and Sam Briggs, I guess, getting their ticket to the games back in December.
Yeah.
You know, if they really wanted to, they could just put in whatever training program they wanted to implement to just peak at the in July or early August at the games, whereas everybody else has to like do a million sanctional events to get there and the Open and everything like that, and they can kind of, I wouldn't call it kick back and relax, but they can have a longer term plan to get there. It's not really the same for everybody else.
Yeah, because I talked to James about it. James qualified at the Australia.
Yep.
What was it called? The Australian
CrossFit Championships. Yeah.
And I said, so you can sit back and relax now? And he said, no. He goes, I have to do well in the Open because of the seeding. And he goes, I want to be in one of those top heats so I don't get put. And I went, oh, Jesus. It doesn't get any easier. But I don't know, and it seems to me nobody knows what is really happening, who's behind it, who's masterminding it.
The silence is deafening. Like the fact that there's no clear communication, it sends us CrossFit frothers into a panic because we like to know everything that's happening.
That's true.
So,
it's kind of fun.
Well, like I heard, you hear a million different rumors, but I heard that Dave Castro wasn't programming for it, and then I heard another one that said that he is consulting on the programming or something, and then Brent Fikowski told me that he definitely is programming the games. So who knows what's
I've heard both.
Happen.
I heard he was not, and then I heard he was programming, but he was not going to be the face of it, and you wouldn't see him at all.
Well, that's because he'd be wearing a bandana over his face. So
all
Can't see him anyway.
Or have dreadlocks or
a
whatever.
cape. Superman cape.
I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if you're going to see him at the game. I can tell you off air all the rumors I've heard, and the reason I say off air because I don't want to spread any of these rumors because they're hysterical. Yeah. Some of them. Yeah. But I'm hearing them from big people in the business, and it's like no one really knows. And I think the only one, I don't even think Glassman knows. I think he just said
he's probably drunk half the time. That's what I've heard. I'm just saying what I've heard.
I've said it 1,000 times. I had someone on here one day who said something about him, and he's not in CrossFit, but he's a big guy in strength and conditioning. And I was like, he just started tearing into him, and I was like, and I have no affiliation to CrossFit. And in the beginning, when we started this podcast, they came after us, and they liked me. They hated Armin, and they were like,
"Now they love Armin."
Yeah, it's funny now. Armin's, and they were. I got an email one day going, "If you're with the haters, then you're against us," and blah blah blah. And I got it from someone who's no longer.
Then you'll be de-affiliated, even though you're not an affiliate.
I got a message that it was from someone who works at CrossFit headquarters who I thought I was friends with, and he was like, "Fuck you and fuck your show and blah blah blah." And I was like, dude, relax. I go, first of all, all I do is good for you guys. I'm on major podcasts and TV shows, and I plug the sport. And I said, so anything I say about you guys, I'm a comedian too, so don't take it with a grain of salt. Yeah. And they were like, well, okay, you're okay, but Armin's not. And now Armin is, now the whole mentality is let's step away. And let's stop having CrossFit media, and we'll let all these other people, like someone like me, or someone like Armin, or someone like Chalked Up, or whatever, and all the guys that left CrossFit media have all now started their own companies. They're shooting everything and recording everything, and
it's the best business decision ever. They don't have to pay anyone.
Exactly. And they had to have all those guys on healthcare and their insurance, and that stuff builds up. So now everybody's doing it, and these guys, I've learned how to squeak not a living, but make a profit on this. Where I'm interested in how, when you're shooting and you're editing and that's a lot of time consuming stuff. I'm wondering how many people are really going to make money in it. It's going to be just like being an athlete, where so few athletes.
Only the top couple will be able to do it.
But that's kind of good with it that like the top athletes hopefully are going to get more and more sponsorship because they're going to get more and more notoriety. So, I'd like to see it, them develop as, because the more money they get, the more they can train, and the more elite they get. Where it's like, okay, these guys, it's. But you're already like someone like you or anyone at the elite level. You guys are freaks. You're freaks. No, but I love how you. What was how far could you have gone when you were?
Not far, I don't think. I think people have talked about it before, especially on the podcast. Is that I've got like really good fitness and capacity, I guess, but I'm not really efficient, I guess, in any of my movements. I don't have any of the circus tricks like handstand walking. I'm not really great with my mobility, so I'm not really in, I guess.
What's your age?
39, nearly 40. Yeah.
So you'd be going to the 40, 45.
And they're all freaks. They're all freaks. Like
freaks.
Yeah, like when I get crazy. Emails saying, I want to train for the Masters Games in 3 years. I'm like, you're still going to be competing against the people you're competing against now. They're just going to be 3 years better as well.
Look at Bill Grundler. Freak. Yeah. I did that. I ran, I was a hurdler. And I thought when I started doing CrossFit in my late 30s, I was like, hey, I'm in really good shape right now. I should go run Masters track, and I'll go kick the shit out of all these guys I used to run against. So I Googled to see what times they were running. And I'm not joking you. These guys in the 110-meter hurdles, so 110 meters, they'd slowed down like 0.3 of a second.
Not much.
And I was like, oh my God, this is like 20 years later, and these guys are still as good as they were.
Yeah.
So that 5 years ago, I could have beat all the. We had a woman in our gym that went and got second, I think, at the games in 60 plus, and it was like she couldn't even do practically like muscle ups or,
Yeah.
I don't think she could. And, hey, they're announcing the show starting. Hey, welcome to the Comedy Store. You hear that? So I wonder if this is going to ruin the show. Last time I listened to the episode you guys were on at the CrossFit Games at the hotel, and it was hilarious.
There was people in the background.
Were people playing ping pong?
Yeah, there was ping pong. There was Jenga. There was everything going on down there. There was a gym like next door that was like with no doors, so people in there trying workouts. And
well, no matter what, this is going to be better than that, even if we hear comedians in the back. But what I was saying is that the back then, 5 years ago, yes, I could have beat the 60-plus women. Now, freaks.
Yeah.
And it's good, and I've always said I'd like them to focus more on those masters athletes because that lets someone, as you get older, go, okay, I can still keep pushing myself.
Yeah. Well, they've cut it to 10 this year.
Yeah, it used to be top 20.
I don't know why they did that.
It
doesn't really cost them anything considering they're, having 200 males, 200 females. I guess the selection process is still through the open. But, it's only 10 spots this year.
But didn't they have, for those people, didn't they do the open? Then they had to do like an
They do a
online
Masters qualifier still. They're still doing that.
Okay.
So the top 200 do the Masters qualifier, and then this year it's 10 per age group instead of 20.
I love how you guys know all that. It is so confusing.
Oh, I sound like I know what I'm talking
you
about.
Do.
But I don't. So
the audience knows.
Yeah.
No, it's really, it is confusing, and I'm wondering how many people are going to not make it in because they didn't follow all the rules, or people that sneaked in because they figured something out that no one else knew.
Yeah.
Like going to a country that, like Equatorial Guinea or something.
Yeah.
Remember that swimmer in the Olympics?
Eddie the Eel.
No. Was he Eddie the Eel?
That was at the 2000 Olympics,
That was
wasn't it?
2000 Olympics.
Wait, you might
He's famous.
Was he the dude from Equatorial Guinea, the swimmer?
He could hardly swim.
Yeah.
He couldn't make 50 meters.
Was his name Eddie too?
Yeah, Eddie. And he's
Eric.
Eric. Oh,
Eric
sorry.
the Eel.
Yeah,
Eric the Eel.
Well, she's
Eric.
right too. Eddie the Eagle.
There was two. There was a swimmer, and then there was another sport that they likened to Eric the Eel, but it was something else.
So Eddie the Eagle was the British ski jumper.
Yeah, okay.
That was terrible.
yeah.
Then there was Jamaican bobsled team.
Yep.
Then,
Eric the Eel. Sydney Olympics, 2000.
Yep.
and he was from, I think, Equatorial Guinea,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
couldn't even swim.
He couldn't swim.
at all. Like, I think he...
I don't think he kept his
It
goggles
makes me
on
want to
when he
YouTube
dived
that
in.
now. I haven't thought about him for so long.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he... I'm going to look him up right now. I think he did finish it, but it
He
was like,
did, but it was uncertain.
But it was like making
whether
a
he would
mockery
finish.
of the
Yeah.
Olympics.
Yeah.
Well, surfing is in the Olympics for the next Olympics.
Is it?
And there's only like 10 countries
Yeah.
that surf. I don't know, like, if you're from the Soviet Union, I can't wait to see what surfers
Yeah.
they're putting in, or
Moscow.
Yeah, or
Russia.
Finland, or
Yeah.
something. Let's see, Eric the Eel.
You probably won't even have to finish typing it. It'll just type
It-
in Eric
it's-
and it'll come up.
Because it's been listening to us. I don't trust the phone at all. Eric, the first one, the swimmer. Yep. Oh my God, Eric Musambani
Yeah.
Malonga. He's not Mandingo. You ever see Mandingo?
No.
Mandingo is this porn star that has the biggest schlong in the world.
Yep.
And I've seen it, and it's like...
Big.
You think
It is the biggest.
You think it's fake, but in proportion to his body, it's not proportional. And so I said to a girl I know that's a porn star that knows him, I said, does he pass out?
Because of the blood rush.
Yeah. And she goes, you'd think.
Yeah.
And I found out he's only like 5'6" or 5'7",
Wow.
and he looks like this guy. This is
right.
so he's from Equatorial Guinea. I was right. Nicknamed Eric the Eel, but his 50 freestyle time was 27.9. Wait, yeah, 27.9 in a 50. That's actually
That's not that slow.
No, that's not slow at all.
I thought I remember
probably
watching
slow
him
for the
struggle.
Olympics.
I know a 15-year-old that does it in 19. But
I wouldn't do it in 27 seconds.
yeah, you could probably do 27.
Oh, no. You haven't seen me swim. Really? Must have watched it.
Here.
I thought it looked like he was trying to survive the Titanic.
That's what I thought.
Icy water.
27 is respectable.
Well,
No, it's
for a high schooler.
Okay, wait. No, it's not respectable. Hold on.
What's the Olympic
Not-
record?
When I train, like just go out
Yeah.
for a swim, I try to do all my 50s in
a minute. No.
In 30. Is that right?
Are you in a 25-meter pool? No. That's pretty. No, like, that's
See,
pretty
we're
good.
not good swimmers.
Well, yeah, well, we're not good swimmers.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're too muscle bound.
Or maybe in a minute. Wait. Here he is. Here's the race. He can't dive, I don't think. I think he has to jump in. We're watching. Oh, here it goes.
That's not him.
That's him.
That's him.
Oh, he's not that bad.
Yeah, he's bad. He's terrible.
Yeah,
I mean, he's moving quickly. His
No, well,
technique
that's
is...
He's terrible.
Oh, 40
seconds.
He did a flip turn. Oh, his 50 was 40?
Yeah, so he's doing the.
He's absolutely horrendous.
He's like me. He doesn't put his head under the water.
Somehow he's
So
still
he's-
going quicker than me, though.
No. No. This is horrendous. Horrendous.
Okay,
This looks like
I would have beaten him.
if I was a lifeguard, I would jump in to save him. I would right here. I'd
So
go.
the world record is 48 seconds.
He looks like maybe one of the lifeguards
At that
that they had
time.
at Dubai. That was. I don't reckon they could swim.
Did you go down to Dubai for the?
We did.
Okay, wait. So here it is. The world record's 48, and he did it in 152.
Yeah,
And that's for 100.
that's at the Olympics, the pinnacle of all sports.
That's
Yeah.
pretty bad. That looks like a lot of CrossFitters, though.
It does. Well, actually, it looked like a lot of CrossFitters in maybe 2012. Now they're all good swimmers.
I got in an argument with Armin about this. I said when they did the run, swim, run. Was it run, swim, run was last year at Madison?
They did the Madison.
Oh, no, the run, swim, paddle.
They
that
did a
was
paddle.
the Madison.
I don't
Tri
expect them to
plus.
be good paddlers. The balance and stuff is very difficult.
Yeah.
That's a skill that you got to put some time in on that. But swimming, come on, that's part of fitness. The swimming was still pathetic.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
Oh, you just gone.
I still think
Yeah.
the swimming was. It's still of all the aspects of CrossFit, that's the one that CrossFitters are lacking the most.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But they are a lot better, I guess, in general than what they were.
Oh, I watched one of them when they
I
did in
guess the
Santa
picture-
Monica.
Yeah.
Remember with the Murph?
Yeah.
I watched one of them just. That's when Miko Salo
Busted his eardrum.
in 2 foot waves.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then,
Who else?
what's
Rob
her name?
Orlando? Did
What-
he come out? Did he touch a?
Something happened to him, I think.
Did he touch a rescue thing by accident or
can't
something?
remember.
I don't know.
One of the girls, Deborah Carson. what's her name?
Conda Carson.
Konzelman? No.
No, Conda Carson, the African American.
She's from Minneapolis.
Yeah, she was
just-
terrified, I
She was
remember.
terrified of the waves and just went, fuck this, and turned
Yeah.
around and came out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And it wasn't big waves.
it was, we don't even surf when it's that big. We just go, oh, there's no surf today.
Yeah.
Go get a coffee.
And then I felt so bad for Miko because I've heard that broken eardrum's pretty painful.
Yeah.
And I saw him in the bathroom afterwards. I said, how you feeling? And he was like, oh, fuck. I was like,
And he was probably a chance to win it that year. Like he was.
did he win or second?
Yeah, he won in 2009.
No, that was. Jason Kalipa was 2008. OPT was 2007.
I think he was 2009.
Yeah.
He did win.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think he won.
Yeah.
Have you ever had a winner? Fikowski's the closest?
Nah, yeah, Brent.
Second.
Yeah, second.
Are you still coaching him?
No, we still talk.
Okay.
But, he's doing.
doing-
another group that's kind of closer to him, so he can go on training camps and
Right.
things like that.
It's hard to do remote, isn't it, a bit?
Well, like I always think that having a coach that you can kind of see
Yeah.
regularly is better than anybody
Right.
remote, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But you're in touch with them so much when you're coaching them.
Yeah.
You talk every day?
Yeah. When I was coaching, well, maybe like message and stuff and Facebook
Right.
or whatever most days. So
I think it's funny all these guys like coach shopping.
yeah.
Yeah. I
I think that the best thing is just for somebody, doesn't matter who it's with, it's just to do something and then stick to it for a while.
Stick to it. Put your trust in someone and do it consistently.
Like we've had some people that do our program that do it for a little bit, then you see them go off and do some other program, and then another different program, then another different program, and then eventually come back.
One of the comedians, Bruce Griffiths, just popped in here and looked at us like, what the fuck is going on?
But yeah, I think if you just stick to something, doesn't really matter what it is, I guess.
But I do believe
there's
that you have to commit and you have to put your trust in your coach.
Yeah. And what frustrates me is when you've coached someone for so long and then they're getting really good and all they've got to do is like, a couple more, another 6 months or whatever, and they're going to make it. But then they might swap a program and then they get the results that they've been working for or you've helped them with for the last 2 or 3 years. And it's like, new program. Instant result must be the new program, but it's the 3 years that they've done previously. It drives me insane.
Imagine if boxers switch coaches all the time. That's what I think is so bad about this. I really do, and I think it's because CrossFitters are know-it-alls because of the internet.
Yeah,
and they just look at something and it's what we're all going through, that kind of FOMO thing, like, oh, what's this guy doing?
Yeah.
What's he doing that I'm not doing?
Yeah.
Why did he used to only squat 315. Why is he squatting that now? And so they all start going, I got to find out who he's working with.
Yeah, it's just a flavor of the month. Like everyone just does what's popular.
Yeah. When it's just, maybe you just need to work harder.
Yeah, well, exactly right. Exactly right. A lot of them probably have to work less because they do too much. They probably do 3 different programs.
Yeah.
Hoping that they'll get something in there.
How much do you think it is overtraining?
I often have this conversation with a few of my athletes, even Jess, about volume versus intensity and things like that. But I would say in general, most of them would be overtrained. They would get far better results by doing less. I guess, 100%.
That's interesting. Not me though. I can't do less than I'm doing.
Well, you get how long till you're on? 16 minutes.
Oh, 16 minutes?
It's 20 past.
Wonder if he's they'll come get me.
Yeah.
And I also I'm the kind of guy, I wait till a minute before I go on. People go, don't you prepare? I'm like, no.
So do you know what you're going to talk about now before you go out?
I have no fucking idea.
You just pick on someone in the audience?
No, I usually don't pick on people. I usually just walk on the stage and whatever kind of comes to me at that point.
Yeah.
And 90% of the time it works. 10% of the time I'll say something so stupid that then I'm coming out of a hole.
Yeah, trying to dig it up.
Yeah, but a comic told me years ago, he's like, when you're practicing in New York, I was doing 7 shows a night every night. He's like, go up and just pick on someone in the crowd and call them, just get yourself in a hole.
Yeah.
So that you've got to come out of it, because then once you do, you always can
build some character in yourself.
And so I would do that. I mean, I didn't really have to. I would get in those holes sometimes. And I still go and do shitty gigs where people go, why do you do that gig? And I go, because I know it's going to be really hard.
Yeah.
And it keeps me for when really good gigs can go horribly sometimes. You'll have someone stand up and yell my brother just died yesterday. And you're like, okay.
Why are you here?
Yeah. But you'll have the craziest things happen.
Yeah.
So I've had people die in the audience, keel over, and so dealing.
Is that good or bad? Dying of laughter.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I wish that's what it was, but twice it's happened, and I would not die, but twice where I look around the room. I'm like, does anybody know CPR? Does anybody? And I'm trained in all that shit because I used to be a ski patrol and a lifeguard, and I was like, oh, fuck. I'm the most qualified person here. How pathetic is this place?
When that has happened, has anyone thought that it's part of the show?
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. In fact, most times when I'll go at it with a heckler and it goes well, people say to me afterwards, set up. Does he come? And I'm like, that's what I do. I buy him plane flights all over the world, and he shares a hotel room with me or something. I'm like, I really want to hang out with the 400-pound drunk guy.
Yeah.
But it just sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't. I've had it go horribly. I did that show for the Crows.
Yep.
They had me come in, perform to them in their practice ground. So it's on a turf field with super daylight. They had all the women that work in the offices. Some of them brought their kids. And I just, they were like, hey, will you do this show? I was like, yeah. And I walk up, I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like, this is just going to be awful.
Yeah.
This is just a horrible idea. And so then a bunch of them came to my show in my theater where I was performing, and they're like, hey, you're really funny. And I was like, yeah. Try playing footy in a church.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
See how good you are.
Different environments.
Yeah. So it's the same with, CrossFit. Like, I wonder how, like, you competed in Dubai. How bad was it with the heat?
It was fine. It's winter there when they run it,
okay.
so it's actually really nice. It's probably like high 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Whereas we're coming.
It's still warm, but we're.
We're coming from summer where it's like high 30s, low 40s for us.
Well,
so it's
because I went there when it was like high 40s.
Oh yeah,
I
I've
thought I
heard
was
when you go
gonna
in
die.
summer, it's
there's quite a lot
terrible.
of expats and some Australians over there, and I know that they might be school teachers or something like that, and when they have their summer holidays and it's hot, they just come back to Australia and get out of there. Yeah.
That's what I want to do. I want to start leaving America during our winter and just come here.
Whereabouts are you from in America?
I live in California. I live in right up in the Malibu Mountains, so
Yeah.
where all the fires were.
Yeah.
And this winter sucked. It was just cold the whole time, and I was like, I'm done with cold. I don't want this. So I come here a lot. And my wife and I, this time, we were like, all right, maybe it's time. I spent a lot of time down on the South Coast.
Yep.
And a friend had a farm.
South coast of Sydney?
Of Sydney,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
A friend
Wollongong? Or?
even farther, way farther. We were down between Bermagui and Merimbula.
I know. I've heard of Merimbula. I don't know where it
Far.
is.
Like a 6-hour drive from here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I could live here. No problem.
Yeah.
And just come in the summers, and then go back.
Be cheap to live down there as well.
Yeah.
I guess housing and stuff.
Oh, this is crazy here.
yeah.
Is it crazy? I assume CrossFit's almost like unaffordable here because rent would be crazy out like in Sydney.
I think
It's very expensive in the city.
In the city it is, like,
yeah.
I don't know how
They'd
anybody
be
does.
charging like
double what we charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I live, when I'm here, I stay in Bondi.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
And I
expensive.
remember forever Bondi CrossFit was in the park.
Yeah, outdoors.
Yeah, 'cause they
Richard Thomas, I think. Was it Richard when you said his name?
Yeah.
I think.
Is that who it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Are you well known in the CrossFit community here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he denies
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I love.
I was going to say I used
love
to
his
be.
humility.
I used to be. I was going to say I used to be. Not as much now.
Did you go to all the competitions and everything?
Yeah, but I don't like to.
He was a. Oh, you mean now? I thought you meant back in the day. He was a fire breather at one point.
Yeah. No, I used to love all the competitions. We get people from the gym to go to the competitions, but kind of a bit competitioned
So
out.
you had the Hogans from Melbourne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those guys were great.
Chris and
Yes.
Kieran.
What's
That's still
the
great.
guy, the military guy that Commando Steve?
Steve.
Oh, yeah,
Commando Steve.
Yeah.
Is
Commando
he
Steve.
still doing it?
No.
No, he just does it kind of for fun, and I think he does the Open every year, but he's got more, I guess, not pressing, but bigger business.
What's he do now? His TV shows? Or?
Well, yeah, so he was on The Biggest Loser, but that's not really running anymore. Recently he was on, like, I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here type thing, and
Did he do that show?
he did that show.
No, he did Survivor.
Survivor. Sorry,
Celebrity
my bad.
Survivor. Celebrity
my bad.
Survivor.
I'm sorry.
They offered me. I'm a
Oh,
celebrity.
yeah?
Get me
Oh,
out of here.
really?
From the Australian one?
The Australian one.
Really?
Yeah. My agent calls me and he said, "Hey, I want you to do this show. Blah blah. You just don't say yes, don't say no. Just watch the trailer."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating worms.
So
and-
I show it to my wife. I put it in like the first scene. They're jumping out of a helicopter into crocodile-infested water, and I go, "No, I'm out." And my wife goes, "Why not?" And I go, "Because I don't want to die." And she says, "You're not going to die. It's a TV show. They're not going to let you die." And I go, "People die on reality shows all the time, and they cover it up."
Yeah.
And she goes, "No." I go, "They have insurance. They don't give a fuck." And my wife goes, "Yeah." And I go, "I'm not doing it." So I email my agent. I'm like, "No, not doing it. No fucking way."
Yeah, fair enough.
Then he writes me back. So we got you a meeting with them, blah, blah, blah. And I said, no. He goes, your wife emailed me and said you did. I go, she's trying to kill me.
Has she taken out an insurance policy for you?
Yes, that's not a joke. So I won't. I'd probably do the adventure shit, the eating the stuff.
Yeah.
I'd have a little trouble with.
Yeah, I'll watch a bit of it, but yeah, I don't know.
I could do the eating stuff. I couldn't do the socialization.
Really?
Or,
You could-
as in being forced to be in such close quarters with people who you might not get on with.
You could eat worms and stuff.
Yeah, I've got a pretty hearty.
But she's got a good track record of eating worms. I remember one time she was eating some muesli, and I don't know how long it had.
True.
It is true. I don't know how long it had been in there. I'm like, do you know that there's things moving inside your? Like, I think they were called weevils or
they
something.
They were only
I don't
in
know.
yours. They weren't in mine.
I could eat your nose, but I couldn't bend my arm enough to.
I've got an iron stomach.
She doesn't have an iron stomach. One time we cooked some sweet potato.
Story.
Cooked some sweet potato, and we left it in there. I just forgot about it. Like, cooked it.
It was in
didn't
the
eat
oven.
it.
On the oven tray.
It could have been in the oven for 4 days to maybe 10 days.
Nah, 2.
It was longer. Anyway, I put
Let's
my
split
hand
the
in there.
difference. Let's go with 3.
I put my hand in there, and I went to pick up the bit of sweet potato. I was like, oh, bit slimy. Don't think that's really good to eat. It's not, it's a bit ripe. Not really like an apple ripe. So I put it back, and I forgot to clean it, like just being lazy. Next minute, old mate gone. Oh, this is pretty good. Eating the sweet potato.
Food is fuel. I'm
Then
not fussy.
3 a.m.
Food is fuel.
3 a.m. coming out both holes.
I had the worst food poisoning.
You got food poisoning, bro. That's
so
fucking
bad.
awesome.
It was so slimy.
So bad.
Like, it was like
I'd
you
heard
almost couldn't pick it up. It was like a cake of soap when you went to pick up the sweet
people
potato.
talk about food poisoning, but
It's
didn't really
brutal.
appreciate. It's brutal.
How long after you ate it did you get it?
I pinpoint about 8 hours.
Yeah, yeah. So it was food poisoning.
We had a romaine lettuce recall in America.
Yeah.
It was like 2 weeks after it was all recalled. I'm at a casino doing shows, and the guy that's opening for me calls me. He's like, I don't think I can do the show tonight. I said, why not? He said, I've been puking and shitting. I said, look, we're at altitude right now. You probably have altitude sickness.
Yeah.
Drink a lot of water. That's probably just what it is. He's like, no, it's something else. And I said, and we had been eating at the restaurant in the hotel every night. Well, sure enough, that night I eat the romaine salad.
Yep.
Which has, the Cobb salad with romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
Because I figured it's been 2 weeks. It's all over the news. They wouldn't be serving.
The restaurant wouldn't serve it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so the 4 a.m, I wake up puking and shitting, and I'm like mind over matter. I'm doing Wim Hof. I'm trying to stop this. I'm like, and I'm getting the tingling in the back of my neck, and I was like, and I haven't puked since I guess being shit-faced drunk 20 years ago, and I'm like, I did the beer mile. I puked in that, but I'm like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And then I swear there was a point where I shit and puked at the same time. I didn't know your body can do that.
You don't know what to do. You don't know which one to contain. Do I face the toilet or do I sit on the toilet?
Yeah, it was like one of them's hitting the wall. And it was like my stomach was like, everybody, go.
Yeah.
And I crawled to CVS. It was dead of winter. And I got, which is our pharmacy, and I went and got a Pedialyte.
Yeah.
Which was a lifesaver, and which also brings me to, I don't understand why more athletes aren't using that as a sports drink.
Is that like an electrolyte?
It's like
thing?
Hydrolyte.
Oh, yeah.
It's like Hydrolyte.
We had Hydrolyte ice blocks today after we trained.
It's incredible, and I don't know why they're not selling it. It's basically for children who have diarrhea or vomiting, and it's just got high sodium.
Yeah, yep.
And you can get a sugar-free version, and I'm like, Gatorade is all sugar, and it's just crap. And there's I don't understand until I said to a nutritionist friend, he's like, yeah, it's the best sports drink there is. And I'm wondering how close we are to
seeing if you're getting the call up.
Yeah.
Might have to
We should
mic
end.
drop.
We should try to close this up. I wish we could have more time, and I wish I could have come to your gym. That would have been great. I had the pregnant wife and kid in town who's 4, who are lurking around here somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it's just we've been traveling like crazy, and I was like,
how long are you here for?
We're leaving Monday.
Oh yeah.
So we get back to the States, and then I'm in Edmonton this week and coming up, and I'm in Edmonton next week, and then Bozeman, Montana the week after, then Las Vegas the week after that. So it's just so much traveling. But so I appreciate you guys coming out of your way and coming here.
Cool.
And I can only, I've said it a million times before, if anybody wants programming, there's not a better place, I think, to go than going to you. In fact, I got to jump back on it because I work out alone, and it's really hard. It's tough when I drop in on a gym to say, hey, thanks for letting me come here and work out for free.
But
Now,
I don't want to do your class.
I don't want to do your thing. And then they look at me like, who are you?
Yes.
You know? And I'm like, yeah, but I have to stay consistent.
Yeah.
And it's hard when I'm doing, I'm in a gym one day and then gym the next day.
Yeah,
They do Helen 2 days in a row. You
Yeah.
know, so it's difficult, and it's nice to stay on something consistent. The only thing is your workouts, God damn it, do they take long?
We've got like one now that like it's more for the everyday. We just call it foundations, and that's I think that's probably one of the better strength and conditioning ones. It's not like all the CrossFit party tricks and stuff, but you still do the skills. It's just not like do or die.
I'm over the party tricks.
Yeah. And then the other one that's pretty popular is cardio bodybuilding, but I think that's really hard.
That's really hard.
Like,
Cardio
That's like his baby.
bodybuilding.
Yeah,
That's your baby.
We did that today, Jess and I.
That was so bad.
Jess couldn't finish the workout.
It's that hard?
I beat you in the workout.
Yeah, but then you couldn't finish the next part.
Yeah,
So
because
you didn't.
No,
I
all you have
flogged
to say
you
is
in
you
the
crashed
first
into the
part.
back of me.
Yeah.
You crashed.
Yes.
That's
But
so,
yeah,
yeah.
she did.
Stop drafting.
Yeah.
Drafting.
I'm not
Stop
riding-
drafting on
I'm not
someone who
riding.
doesn't know
I'm
what
not
drafting
riding-
is.
Yeah, I'm not riding with her again.
That's fine.
I did that
better
once.
that way.
I was training for a triathlon. I was just riding my bike around this beach town where my parents were. And it was the first time, like, all of a sudden, these guys come up on me and they said, "You want to ride with us?" And I was like, "Sure." And so I didn't know how good they were, and I wasn't very good, so I got in behind them. And for like 10 miles, I was riding behind them, just drafting them.
And you didn't take your turn
I
up the
felt
front?
it. No. And all of a sudden, this one guy turns around and he's like, "Well, fucking go to the front." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know." Like, how much hard? And then I got to the front and I was like, "Oh my God. Oh my God, this is brutal."
So easy out the back. Yeah.
Well, we're probably... So where can they find this?
Raw Strength and Conditioning on Instagram, and Raw Strength Conditioning, Gmail, www.rawstrengthconditioning.com.
If you're looking for a program, I'm saying it, like, this is, in my opinion, the best place to go. Some of the best workouts I've done, I just feel like it took me back to my days of training as an athlete, where I felt like I was improving, I was getting something done. I just did all your programming again last month.
Yep.
I feel like I'm in shape again.
Yeah.
And that way I ruined it all week drinking, and I didn't drink for 3 months, and then I get down to the beach, I'm like, Jess, good luck with
Thank
you. So you will be at the games.
I will be at the games.
That's
yes.
awesome.
Yeah. It's
So
cool.
maybe I doubt it. My child's going to be born right around that time, so I don't know if my wife will let me out. But I was at the games. I didn't go last year. I went the year before. I might have to fly up there for a couple days or something. So maybe I'll see you there. I'll be cheering for you guys.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
my Aussie, I have this allegiance to Australia.
Yeah, James and us.
Yeah. Oh, James is going to be in it.
James,
Yeah, I love
yeah.
James.
James will be there.
He's my boy. So, So thank you guys so much, and now come out and enjoy the show. Maybe I'll be funny.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.